All right, it is 7 o'clock on Thursday, June 11th. This is the regular city council meeting for the city of Alburnett. We will go ahead and call our meeting to order. If you'll please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Counselor Trump.
Present.
Counselor Bosenberg.
Present.
Counselor West.
Present.
Counselor Myers.
Present.
Let the record reflect that Counselor Sukup is absent tonight, but we do have a quorum to conduct business. With that, I would seek a motion to approve the agenda. Moved by Myers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Bosenberg. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We have our sheriff's report in your packet on page 2. We do not currently have a deputy present with us. If they come in, we will recognize them. I think my report might be a day old, so I have 16 calls for service, but I think that got updated to 17. So for May 12th through June 11th, there were 17 calls for service and 43 hours met. Are you all notifying them for car show this weekend?
Yes.
Next weekend.
We've notified them, but we'll
Remind
them.
Beautiful. Any questions or comments on the sheriff's report? Again, if they join us, we'll go over that again with them present. All right, next item on the agenda are citizen comments. In the city of Alburnett, we have two types of comments, those for agenda-related items and non-agenda-related items. We do ask that you state your name and address clearly for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes. If you are on the agenda, you'll speak at that time. So this is just if you have comments for any agenda-related items. All right, hearing none, non-agenda-related items. Perfect. Brings us into our business. Item A, the special event permit for the 2026 benefit day on August 1st. You have the application in your packet starting on page 3, and I believe we have some representatives from the Diamond Club to speak to us tonight. So welcome.
Leah Smith. Nice man.
Nice to meet you.
Princess, what's his face, yeah. And two burners on Diamond Club too. Yeah, so we were just seeking the permit to get benefit here. I believe Cassie had emailed all of the parade route. And then I think the only new event from last year, adding on to this year, will be a 5K. That we submitted that route as well. That will involve obviously some road closures that we have Lynn County looped into by the department as well, so.
Perfect. Did we get certificate of insurance? I know they were working on it.
I don't know.
Sorry, that was to Vicky. That was in front of you. You're too close together. Okay. No worries.
Cassie to.
I think she knows. I think they were working on it.
Okay.
They just have some that some will be reminder.
Okay. I know they did we had our insurance guy out a month or 2 ago to the Diamond to get any updates to the policy, so I wonder if they're maybe just waiting for an updated version of what we have.
Perfect. All right, so based on the application, we've got some street closures, blocking private property. I did notice the bank already has, oh no, they have a sign up for the car show. So just make sure you let all the business owners know.
Yeah, we will. Lifeguard needs to clear it through their powers that be again, but we will plan on utilizing the parking lot of the bank again for them to land. So we'll make sure we communicate with them and with the closure and then with that plan as well to get all of the cars moved out from behind that day as well.
Perfect. Well, actually, are you guys starting late enough that the bank won't be impacted?
Yes, we are doing the exact same agenda, at least for road closures as last year. The home run derby will start earlier around noon at the Diamond. And then we'll close off the roads around that time and then start parade lineup around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then parade will start at 3.
Perfect. Yeah, so the bank won't be. So you have the schedule council on page 5. Eggs tournament again, that was a big hit last year.
Yeah.
It was just fun to spectate. Some of the trash talking was pretty epic. Is the 5K the glow run? Is that what I'm
Yes.
picking up? So it's gonna be an evening? Okay. All right, so then page 6, council, is the road closure. So again, just between it's their normal Main Street closure. Post office, have we contacted them?
Not yet, a little late.
Okay, because that one,
Yep.
I didn't realize they pick up so late in the afternoon
Yeah,
on a Saturday, so.
Yeah, last year I had gone out to the, I think the Central City
Yep.
offices who helps, so yeah, so I communicated with them last year and we'll plan on doing the same this year.
Perfect. That was a surprise a couple of years ago when,
Oh, yeah.
like, Saturday, what are y'all doing?
Right.
And then page 7 is the parade route. Looks like it's same as previous years. And page 8 is the 5K route. Looks like for the most part, that stays in town, which is nice.
They're gonna give you enough time between your 5K and the pie auction.
We're
You only
hoping
got,
by the time it starts on an average 5K, it lasts 40 minutes or so.
okay,
And I mean, majority of the people should be through within probably, that time, half
Okay.
hour.
okay.
And so we're hoping.
See what happens.
What time did we?
Unless you got me running it.
Did we say
It
what
might
time?
be an hour.
It's 9:45 on this schedule.
Yeah, that's kind of,
Yep.
so the idea is to try to get people to circle from the diamond and then end up right down here. We've walked it a few times with GPS, and depending on if we need to add some, we'll just have to walk through the diamond a little bit to start, or circle through another time when we circle back around. But it should end up right here, and then we're gonna go right downtown.
Nice.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions for our Diamond Club members? Anything else before I call for a vote, but pretty comprehensive. All right. That I would seek a motion to approve the special event permit for 2026 Benefit Day on August 1st, pending the certificate of insurance.
So
Moved by West. Do I have a second?
second.
Second by Myers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
All right,
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. You're all set. Thank
so
you.
much. I will reach out to Cassie, and see where we're at with that insurance certificate.
Perfect, yeah. I mean, you guys are super early you're almost 60 days out, so it's, yeah. Got some
A
time.
little better than last year.
You know,
Thank you guys for your time. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
appreciate it. All right, that brings us to item B, resolution 06-2026-01, approving the FY 27 employee wages for the city of Alburnett. So this will be effective July 1, so this is for fiscal year 27. We did budget 3%, so we do have amounts already filled in that represent a 3% increase, but obviously council has discretion on what they would like to do with any or all positions. Since the majority of these have a portion that comes from our proprietary funds, such as water and sewer, we've got a little flexibility over what's budgeted. General fund is pretty tight, but personally makes my eye twitch a little that they're not like some kind of round number, but it is a percentage, so. Any thoughts from council?
and I just rounded up to an even number.
To the quarter, to the dollar,
Um,
the dollar. I did figure out, well, here we can do Mac really quickly because he's at 28 right now. So yeah, if you took him 4%, that would take him up $1.12. So it's basically between 3.5% and 4% to go up about $1 on each one. So Mac's currently at 28. Vicky's currently at 26 and Lee is currently at 24.
I have no problem going up if we have the budget flexibility. It is not cheap to live.
It's true. All right. With that,
Question, is anyone on here looking to move up the pay scale due to any type of certifications, anything along those lines?
so any of the certifications, the last time we did job description updates, they are built in as a requirement of the existing jobs. So
Okay,
that wouldn't, we've put everything in pay ranges. And so I know I've looked at Public Works and city support. I haven't looked at city clerk recently. Public Works, I think, is 25 to 40. So Max got room to grow, which he's still pretty young as far as excuse me, early in his career as a director, since he did just get that promotion last year. So it makes sense that he's a little less than half on that pay scale yet. City support is 20 to 30. So with that $25, that puts him square in the middle of that pay scale. And I don't have Vicky's offhand. I could pull it up quickly if you wanted to, but no, we're well within where they need to be.
need to make sure. Paying our people well enough to keep them around.
Yep. Yeah, we have had some certifications acquired, but again, we built those in as expectations of the roles.
For a motion?
Let me read it out first. So Resolution 2026-01, approving FY 27 employee wages for the city of Alburnett, whereas the city council of the city of Alburnett, Iowa, subject to the Code of Ordinances, chapter 17.02, subsection 5, shall authorize by resolution the compensation of employees or officers. Now therefore be resolved that the city council of the city of Alburnett, Iowa hereby authorizes the following wages for employees for the city of Alburnett for fiscal year 2026 to 2027. The following persons and positions named shall be paid bi-weekly hourly wages as defined. The city clerk is hereby authorized to issue warrants and checks less legally required or authorized deductions for the amounts set out below and make such contributions to IPERS and Social Security or other purposes as required by law or authorization of the council. Payroll intervals, overtime provisions, and other related payroll personnel procedures shall be conducted in accordance with the City of Alburnett personnel policies and the Fair Labor Standards Act. The pay rates below are hereby approved and shall take effect on the first pay period following July 1, 2026, marking the beginning of fiscal year 2026 to 2027. Public Work Director, Matt Kleitch, saying $29 an hour. City Clerk, Vicky Kula, $27 an hour. City Support, Lee Bolin at $25 an hour. All resolutions or parts thereof in conflict herewith or hereby are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. Do I have a motion to approve 06-2026-01?
So move as read and amended.
Moved by Drum with the amended wages. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Bosenberg. Before I call for a vote, the statement in there, Vicky, where it says take effect the first pay period following July 1. So that's the first official cycle. Because when does this July 1 falls in the middle of a cycle? We tripped on that last year because then it was tricky trying to figure out both. So this will be basically got it. Perfect. Thank you. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, we're gonna do a roll call. Counselor Trum,
Aye.
Counselor Bosenberg,
Aye.
Counselor West,
Aye.
Counselor Myers.
Aye.
That motion carries. All right, next item on our agenda, coming up on page 10 of your packet, resolution 06-2026-02, approving the purchase of firefighter bunker gear and associated personal protective equipment for the Alburnett Otter Creek Fire Department. Anything you would want to add here, Chief? I know this is a budgeted item. We talked about replacing so many sets.
Yep, so. Price went up a little bit from when we did budget. Shoot, other ones in here.
Yeah, I have Hyman and McQueen. Yeah.
Yep, so, McQueen's price is for, 4 sets of gear, head to toe. So that's the, say it was 21,380.40.
Yep.
The Hyman one, which their gear is what we currently have now, what we've had for years, before I've been on the department, so it's been a while. It'll be 4 sets plus, it's called the Tech Gen 51 set. It's the dual certified gear. What that is pretty much the outer part of our bunker gear without the thermal layering. So it's strictly scene support, car accidents, nothing dealing with fire because there's no protection in it. So we were actually able to get 6 sets, 4 sets of full bunker gear head to toe, and then 2 sets of the certified gear for 21,449. But if council doesn't want to do that, we can take out the Tech Gen and then take it down to 19,255. So I know we budgeted about 20 for it, or 21. So we're just over, but there's also a ballpark.
Yeah.
On how much it would actually cost, but this is both quotes are for full sets, helmet, mask, or helmet, no mask cover, boots, jacket, pants. So it's the full thing. The one nice thing that Hyman has is theirs is all in-house fixes. So like sewing, patching, testing, cleaning is all done here in Iowa. McQueen has a really good product. It's similar to what we're looking at with Hyman. They're just, all their stuff is distributed between, I think, New York and Texas to be cleaned. So longer turnarounds for items like that, but they still do the inspections and the cleanings and all that. So, everybody seems to be happier with the fire decks, the FDX and the Hero equipment that we are looking at, possibly, or looking at getting, and we're just trying to get ahead of the purchase time. It'll be all billed for fiscal year 27. So it's just getting the order in ahead of everybody else.
So four suits would only be good for car accidents and can't go into fire.
No, 2 of them would.
2 of,
So the Hyman is 4 full,
okay.
just like McQueen, plus 2
Oh,
of
okay,
just the
Yeah.
certified.
okay, all right.
Your phrase about they prefer one over the other, which one are we talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. We prefer the Hyman one, the Hyman quote over
That's what we
McQueen.
have primarily. then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's what that Tech Gen is. So the 2 sets,
Yeah, so it's medical only, basically.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, too.
And there's several in the department that are
yep,
non-fire.
right. So the Tech Gen 51, which if you look at the Hyman quote, it's the second set of lines down. It says dual certified gear coat pants. Like I said, that's the outside of our gear. There's some fire protection, but not anywhere near what the full bunker gear is. So like if we're at a car accident or any type of hazard material, anything that is not just strictly medical, we have to have some sort of protection, cut resistant, vibration assistance to operate within that area. So in theory, if there's a car accident down in a ditch,
Yep.
we could go down with full bunker gear, and then if Vernon needed to, she could go down with this Tech Gen
Okay,
gear and still be within safety protocols.
so do we have gear that's comparable to that now that we're in the process of replacing, or is this something new?
This is something that,
Okay,
Because when I was talking to the representative about it, I was like, you know, do you have something that's like just the shell?
Yep.
You know, and still kind of some protection, but he
Yep.
goes, actually, yeah, we do. And that's what that tech gen is.
Okay, and then Hyman evidently doesn't have that?
No, they do.
Oh.
McQueen does not.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, McQueen does not.
okay, got you.
We work well with both companies, just one outbid the other, and we were hoping to go with possibly the other one because they had a little more, it was a little lighter, more flexible, but when it comes down to price and what we already have, the two are still pretty comparable as far as the way they fit and all that, so. And this is,
But realistically, we're getting 6 for the price of 4 if
Right.
we go Hyman.
yeah, and, this is replacing people's gear that is still, it's old, but it's still within regulations. So it'll be able to get passed down to the people that need it. And then we'll be able to start circulating the
Yeah.
gear that way.
All right,
Now, these are fixed locally or?
Yeah, they'll be
Yeah.
fixed, and DeWitt,
Oh, okay.
I believe. Is what it was. I think it was DeWitt that was fixed in, or maybe Sioux Falls, one of the two, but it's, I mean, it's right here, yeah. They're talking week turnaround instead of weeks,
Weeks, yeah.
yeah, so. So yeah, the fire department is, kind of unanimously, I can't talk today, asked about having Hyman, quote be approved. And if you want to take anything out, we can absolutely do that too.
I move to accept.
do have a resolution, so if you want me to read that, you can fill in the blanks for me. All right. Resolution 06-2026-02, approving the purchase of firefighter bunker gear and associated personal protective equipment for the Alburnett Otter Creek Fire Department. Whereas the Alburnett Fire Department has identified a need to replace firefighter bunker gear and associated personal protective equipment that has reached the end of its recommended service life, exhibits normal wear from emergency response activities, or no longer meets operational needs of the department. Whereas replacement of such equipment is necessary to help ensure firefighter safety and maintain compliance with applicable standards for structural firefighting personal protective equipment. Whereas the department obtained quotations for the purchase of bunker gear and related personal protective equipment from qualified vendors. The city reviewed the quotations received as follows: Hyman Fire Equipment, $21,629. McQueen Equipment, $21,380.40. Amounts are based upon quotations received and may be adjusted for final equipment selections, freight, or associated accessories. Now therefore it be resolved that the city council of the city of Alburnett, Iowa hereby approves the purchase for firefighter bunker gear and associated personal protective equipment from, I heard Hyman Fire Equipment, in an amount not to exceed $21,629, with funding to be provided from the fire department budget within the general fund as appropriated for fiscal year 27. I have motion by Myers on that. Correct? All right. Myers has motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trump. Did I need to roll call this one or did it just not get taken off the thing? It's at the bottom of the resolution.
Do
We
it.
can do it.
Good.
Counselor Trump. Because it's high enough.
Yeah.
Aye.
Counselor Rosenberg.
Aye.
Counselor West.
Aye.
Counselor Myers.
Aye.
That motion carries. All right, resolution 06-2026-03, approving the installation of new chlorine gas detection equipment at the city's water treatment facilities. So what you have in your packet are quotes from 2 different vendors. So from Hawkins, let me start with, so these are the alarms on the outside of the well houses today. Because we use chlorine gas, you have to know before you go in if there's any kind of leak, otherwise it'll knock you out immediately and render you helpless. So those, you'll see the flashing lights, there is an audible alarm, keeps everyone safe. The problem with the current detectors is they are obsolete. They were installed many years ago. We cannot get parts for them. And B, we don't believe they were the appropriate equipment for our climate because they are extremely sensitive to very cold temperatures and the alarms just go off. It's super fun for the neighbors that live right next to them. And we've gotten, calls from the sheriff in the middle of the night because the light's going off. So the new systems are properly regulated for our climate. And they're going to be installed, the ones right now are installed outside the building, which doesn't help. So these will be installed, the meter part will be inside. The alarm will still be visible and audible outside. So you've got a quote from Hawkins for the actual equipment. So it's $2,450 for the actual leak detector, $90 for the alarm and light. And that is each, so we would need two since we have two chlorine rooms. That is on page 15 of your packet. Page 17 of your packet is the quote from Hawkeye Electric to install these, and they are well aware of the situation and how they are to be installed, which why it includes the block wall penetrations and those types of things. So, and that is a total price of $1,837.73. So that is for both installations. I do have a resolution. Are there any questions?
So we would be buying from Hawkins and then having
Hawkeye install.
Hawkeye install.
Yep. Precisely. All right, while you look through it, I'll go ahead and read the resolution approving the purchase and installation of new chlorine gas detection equipment at the city's water treatment facilities. Whereas the city of Alburnett operates water treatment facilities that utilize chlorine gas, and the existing chlorine gas detection equipment is discontinued, experiences frequent malfunctions during cold weather conditions, and no longer provides the level of reliability necessary for continued operation. Whereas the city has elected to replace the existing chlorine detection equipment to improve safety, reliability, and regulatory compliance at its water treatment facilities. Whereas the installation of the new chlorine gas detection equipment requires the removal of the existing sensors and monitoring cabinets, installation of new monitoring equipment, associated wiring, raceways, wall penetrations, and testing. Whereas Hawkins Water Treatment Group has provided a quote for the necessary chlorine gas detection equipment and alarms, whereas Hawkeye Electric has been identified to provide the necessary installation services. Therefore, it be resolved that the City Council of the City of Alburnett, Iowa hereby approves the purchase of two chlorine gas leak detectors and alarms from Hawkins Water Treatment Group in the amount not to exceed $5,080. Be it further resolved, the City Council hereby approves the installation of two new chlorine gas leak detectors and alarms at the city's water treatment facilities by Hawkeye Electric in an amount not to exceed $1,837.73, subject to authorization to proceed by the Alburnett Public Works Director. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution? Moved by Myers. Do I have a second?
Second.
So I missed that. Bosenberg? Okay, second by Bosenberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item E, Resolution 06-2026-04, committing local match funding for an assistance to firefighters grant application for the purchase of a new fire tanker. So this is very exciting. Starting on page 19, you have the quote for said fire tanker, and there's a lot of lines on that. It's like a 6-page quote.
Yeah, they do it literally by
But it is,
item. Almost every screw is a line item, yeah.
it is detailed. So, I mean, I can let TJ speak to this as well, but it is nice to see we are already utilizing our grant writing.
Yes, they were quick on it. Lexipol's been amazing working with us, and when we throw stuff at them, they're quick to respond, so. So this will be a 3,000-gallon tanker. Right now, it's drawn up as a 2-seater, so just a single cab. I was talking with the sales rep at trying to get what a quote would be for a 4-seater, 5-seater, so the extended cab. And he got to me this morning or this afternoon when I let Vicky know, that it would be approximately $15,000 more to add that extra section. So, but this would have everything that we need. It comes with all the hoses, comes with, all their drop tanks. So we would pull them off the truck, set them up on the ground, and then dump all the water in it, and then you could fill off of that. And, all the hose will be provided, all the decaling will be provided. So literally, we would be able to receive it, fill it up with water, and in theory, if we had registration already, we could use it that day without having to put anything additional on it. So it's got all our ladders. Trying to think, our pipe poles, which are poles that we use to put on ceiling, or soffit or anything like that to help us reach out. It's got a little bit of everything that we need. Kind of could actually potentially take over, 136, our engine, if it goes down. It could still pump enough to be able to replace that if needed. Not
That-
replace it, but fill in for it.
Supplement.
Yeah.
So that was gonna be my question on the 2 seats versus extended cab is how, if it were just a tanker,
If it was just straight a tanker, it'd be a 2-seater, because we wouldn't be able to do anything with it, but since we have the, other hoses on it, having 4 or 5 people would be better, because we could then use it as a backup to, 136, our engine, but it's still classified as a tanker. It'll just say 5. And if, depending on the mutual aid we go to, if they ask for tanker manpower, we can take 1 truck instead of taking 2 out of our district.
so
Which.
what's
that
the
would put-
adjusted price?
The adjusted price would be, he said approximately 15,000, so it'd be right around 600,000, which, with the match that we've talked with on, so our local match total would be 30,000 for the grant. That's 5%, since
Mhm.
we're a certain size or below the threshold size for 5%. It's a 5% match, and we already talked to the township. And, they've committed their portion, so it would only be approximately 10,000 from the city.
Oh, okay, that explains a lot. I
Yep.
wasn't seeing where the other money is coming from.
Yep.
Yeah, since it'd primarily be used with the township, because we don't generally haul
Right.
water within the
Right.
city, we had talked to them about
Yeah.
putting forward just a little bit more.
We do
I-
have other options. One is what we call bougie, like everything we would love to have if it was like perfect world, and it's almost $800,000. And then we got one that's just lower than this, that isn't fully loaded as far as hoses and everything. That's 525. And it'd be another 20,000 for that, but that's just a single cab as well.
We have the grant all buttoned up then?
So they're prepared to submit. We've not received it yet. So all
We're just getting ready in case all the ducks come together.
we're committing
Yeah.
our local match so that if, when asked that question during the application process, we can say, yes, we've got local
Okay.
match secured. So that's all it is tonight. We've not actually received the funding.
Okay.
And then we actually will have a separate ordinance, and I think it's called out in here. We'll do a separate action to actually accept the award, because we did write that in our policies that we would,
Okay.
that council approves actually accepting any kind of grant award.
But there'd be quite a bit of benefit to go to a 4-person truck.
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, we're going in for this much, we might as well do it right. I mean,
I would thought it was gonna.
without getting booed.
Right. I was hoping it wasn't gonna be a ton, but I wasn't expecting only being that much to add the extra
That's
8 feet.
reasonable, Yeah,
I figured it'd be more.
so
Yeah.
is this replacing something or a new?
So this will be replacing the Hiawatha truck. So we would actually sell off the Hiawatha truck and help offset a
Some
little
of
bit of the cost.
Okay.
Isn't that the one that's got the diesel engine in it or
Yep.
something like that?
Yeah,
Change
the
Kind of an
the
Detroit
parts
diesel.
for or something?
Yep.
Good plan.
So that's the plan with this, is that would replace that one,
which it only carries how many gallons?
750 gallons.
Yeah. So big improvement.
So it wouldn't, it won't, it's good right now as a rescue vehicle that we have it spec'd out for, but fire wise, we would go through that water in about 30 seconds, so.
Are we ready for the resolution?
Yes.
All right,
So, real quick. What is the dollar amount that we would match?
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
it only goes up to 1,000. So I'll actually read it that way. Sounds like that's the direction we're leaning. So I will just read it with amended numbers. And Vicky and I talked about it ahead of the meeting and I was like, let's just have the conversation. So
Yeah.
we can always amend them. All right, resolution 06-2026-04, committing local match funding for an assistance to firefighters grant application for the purchase of a new fire tanker. Whereas the Alburnett Otter Creek Volunteer Fire Department has applied for funding through the Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program with grant preparation services approved by the City Council through Resolution 05-2026-04. Whereas the grant application requests funding in the amount of $600,000 for the purchase of one 3,000-gallon fire tanker equipped with a 1,250 GPM pump and a 5-person cab.
Yeah.
And whereas the AFG program requires a local cost share as a condition of grant funding, and whereas the city of Alburnett recognizes the importance of maintaining adequate fire protection equipment for the protection of its residents, businesses, and property within the community and surrounding service area. Whereas the city council has included funding within the fiscal year 2027 budget to satisfy the required local match should the grant application be awarded. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Alburnett, Iowa, that the city commits up to $10,000 from the general fund toward the required local cost share for the Assistance to Firefighters Grant application for the purchase of a new fire tanker contingent upon award of the grant. Be it further resolved, the city's financial commitment shall not exceed $10,000 and no expenditure shall be required unless the grant is awarded. Grant acceptance and authorization to proceed with the project shall be considered by separate action of the city council if funding is awarded. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution as read and amended? Moved by Trump. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Myers. Any further discussion?
What is the threshold for roll call?
Well, so really, I don't, it's kind of our call on it. This is 10, we've approved.
Go down and check on it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of your jurisdictions. I know some cities, they roll call every resolution just to, so it doesn't hurt one way or another. If you'd like me to call roll, I'm happy
didn't know
to.
if the 10,000 was the magic number
Oh, no.
or not.
I don't think there really is one,
Okay.
so. I can do it. Counselor Trump?
Aye.
Rosenberg?
Aye.
West?
Aye.
Myers?
Aye.
That motion passes. Let's do it all of them. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, item F, resolution 06-2026-05, approving change order number 1 for the Alburnett City Park project. So you're gonna find this on page 24. Good news. I didn't have this in my mayor's report since this is on the agenda. The park project has started. I don't know if you've been out there, but dirt is moving and
Wow.
there is action and excitement and it's coming right along. In their first day of excavation, they did discover that the private gas line that serves the backup generator, so the gas line runs between the fire station and the well house, is not buried deep enough. And therefore they cannot excavate any further, because it will be laying on top of the ground. So. Yes.
Is that because that much topsoil has been moved or it was just put in too shallow to begin?
I believe it got,
Extremely shallow the first time.
it never got trenched. They knifed it in, so we weren't sure exactly how deep it was. It is my understanding that it was installed and it was not put deep enough,
Right.
so.
We put it at the minimum requirement.
Yeah, and if we scrape any dirt, or if we will scrape any dirt off,
It will be exposed.
boom.
Now they can make sure they're not gonna put it under any cement.
Yes, yeah, they're gonna know exactly where it's at,
Mhm.
so. what you have in front of you is, from a change order perspective, is Rachi Construction, who has won the park project bid, has a plan for lowering the gas line. So that change order would not exceed $4,000. They gave us a ballpark because they didn't really measure it necessarily, but we don't think it, they think it might even be shy of that. So they felt comfortable with the $4,000 number. We did reach out to Hawkeye Electric, who is the one that won the generator project and had it installed. And they said they could also get it moved. We asked for pricing, they never got back to us, so we're not quite sure what that looks like. It is my understanding that Hawkeye Electric would install a new line, whereas Rachi is looking to excavate the area and just try to lower it with any slack that might be in the line. But I will say the change order very much states that they will relocate the natural gas line. So if plan A doesn't work, I think they are still bound by this change order to find a plan B in order to get it relocated. Would you like anything? I mean, you've not been involved. We've been working with HR Green, but Michelle's here. So any questions that I can maybe answer?
So, what kind of equipment are they gonna use to try to excavate around it?
That I do not know. They can see it right now. So I mean, they're well aware of where it's at. And we put a tracer wire in the trench or in the wherever when they knifed it in.
So they would be digging next to it?
And then they try to probably flip it over into that new trench is usually what they do.
Yes,
Is there a lot of slack on the line?
that I don't know. They've seen, I assume they've seen it and
I mean,
therefore,
they have to do this on a normal basis, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident they're capable.
Yeah.
Just,
that was our take. And
yeah,
Darren's been involved. He's actually already signed the change order, so they feel good that they can get this done. And again, this came up first thing Tuesday. Hawkeye was made aware immediately, and as of 6 o'clock tonight, we still did not have a price from them, so. And I don't want to hold up progress too much. This just got started. So you will notice in the change order, it also mentions it will add 2 days. They're looking to do it on Monday, so.
I mean, there's a lot of handwork that is involved in lowering utilities, so that price doesn't shock me by any
Yeah.
means.
I didn't think it was out of line. And then to Dave's point, they'll know where it's at. They had already talked about maybe having to shift the pickleball courts just enough that the gas line didn't go under the corner. So now it'd be nice. They'll know exactly where it's at.
Does Mac have the capability to come out and grab GPS shots on that, or does somebody? So that when it's exposed, you can get the exact location and drop into GIS.
I think it already is because it just got knifed in last summer.
But you can grab a depth. split it.
Oh, yes. He should be back. He's currently out of the office, but I believe he's back over the weekend. And so, yeah, if they excavate on Monday, he'll be around.
Cause that's the other thing, Rachi could probably give you shots too.
Yeah.
'Cause their equipment usually is capable.
Nice. Yeah, depth would be smart. There was also an electric line that was run when the fire station was built, but we have learned that that is deep enough. So they don't have to do anything with the electrical portion. But that one, we weren't quite sure where it was because it didn't get GIS'd. Because that project was before we had GIS. So you learn something every day.
There's always a utility on every project.
The worst part is this one, we knew about the project when the utility got put in. So that's a little tough, but. Any other questions from council? All right, we've got resolution 06-2026-05, approving the change order number 1 for the Alburnett City Park. Whereas the city of Alburnett entered a contract with Rachi Construction Company for the construction of the Alburnett City Park, and whereas during excavation activities, it was discovered that the existing city-owned natural gas service line serving the emergency generator for the fire station in well house number 3 was located within the required excavation zone for the project. Whereas in order to accommodate the park improvements and protect critical utility infrastructure, the natural gas service line must be relocated and lowered to an appropriate depth, excuse me. Whereas HR Green, engineer for the city park project, has reviewed and recommended approval of change order number 1 in the amount of $4,000 for the excavation and relocation of approximately 200 linear feet of natural gas service line. Whereas change order number 1 increases the contract amount from $334,640.62 to $338,640.62 and includes an extension of 2 working days to complete the work. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Alburnett, Iowa, that change order number 1 for the Alburnett City Park project with Rachi Construction is hereby approved in the amount not to exceed $4,000 for the relocation and lowering of the existing city-owned natural gas service lines serving the emergency generator for the fire station well house number 3, increasing the total contract amount from $338,640.62 and extending the contract timeline by 2 working days. The mayor and city clerk are authorized to execute all documents necessary to effectuate this change order. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 06-2026-05, or do we prefer to wait for Hawkeye Electric to get us their quote?
Keep this thing going.
I'll make a motion.
I got a motion from Bosenberg. I have a second from Trum. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Resolution 06-2026-06, approving the repair of fire apparatus 139. Chief, back to you.
So. 139, which is our brush truck, we had a fire, just north of town. It's our F-550, little, well, not little pickup, but yeah. We were going out to a call, the fuel gauge read 3/4 of a tank, did our call, came back to fill up, and I ended up putting almost 12 gallons of gas in, which is way more than a quarter tank. And after we filled up, it still was stuck at a quarter tank. Between 2 weeks ago and the beginning of this week, it's now reading full. So I don't know if it's just a stuck float. I mean, it's probably original to it. So we can still have it tested and see if it's working, or we can wait and see when it happens again.
This has been a good truck for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
You gotta know you're not gonna
2005.
run out of
Yeah.
gas.
Yeah, so, I mean, I wanted to be upfront about that, that's reading full right now. So we could hold off, or we can go ahead and have them test it and see if it is needed repaired and then get it done.
So the quote is from Iowa Diesel Repair. Did they take a look at it, or did you just kind of give them a
I gave
diagnostic?
a diagnostic on
Okay.
it and what happened and the VIN number and all that. The only reason I did go with him instead of James is that he has a lift, that he'd be able to drop all that and be able to do it. So that's why I reached out to him.
Perfect. So we take it
Sure.
to him?
Yes.
Expensive to work on trucks.
So I mean, I think at the minimum, if we do go through with everything, it looks like the diagnose and repair would be 930, and then the part, if we need to, would be the 875.
Okay.
So just to, in essence, drop it, test all the wiring, it's $930, and then the part's $875, the change.
And this was a Ford, not a Lamborghini or something.
No, yeah, it's a Ford F-550,
Wow.
so.
So if they find out it,
It's got these little fire truck on it, it's.
Yeah.
so if they find out it's just wiring or something, they would not put the pump in, or were they just gonna have them go ahead and put a pump in anyways?
Well,
I mean,
Depends on
that'd
what
be
they
pleasure of
Depends on
council.
what they find.
Yeah, it'd be dependent on what he finds. If it's just wires, then I'm sure
Yeah, we don't need.
it won't be, we won't need the pump or anything, but,
Right.
or the sending unit,
Right,
but. We can still have them look at it, or we can wait and see if it does drop appropriately and doesn't get stuck again, or,
It's kind of brush fire season, right?
yeah,
I mean,
you got
exception of
logs,
today.
got a long stick.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think we ought to have equipment that runs properly.
All right, I've got resolution 06-2026-06, approving the repair of fire apparatus 139. Whereas the city of Alburnett owns and operates fire apparatus 139, a 2006 Ford F-550 Super Duty utilized by the Alburnett Otter Creek Fire Department for emergency response and public safety operations. Whereas fire apparatus 139 has developed issues with the fuel sending unit assembly, resulting in inaccurate fuel level readings and the need for repair to maintain safe and reliable operation. Whereas accurate fuel level monitoring is essential to ensure fire apparatus 139 remains in the state of readiness for emergency response. And a malfunctioning fuel sending unit could impair operational reliability during fire rescue and other emergency incidents. Whereas Iowa Diesel Repair has consistently provided reliable and high quality service, and Iowa Diesel Repair has inspected fire apparatus 139 and provided an estimate for the following repair services. So to diagnose and repair, actually install the sending unit and shop supplies for a total of $1,855.86. Whereas the City Council of Alburnett, Iowa has reviewed the submitted estimate and finds it in the best interest of the city to authorize repair work as deemed appropriate. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Alburnett, Iowa does hereby approve the repair of fire apparatus 139 by Iowa Diesel Repair in an amount not to exceed $1,855.86, subject to the authorization to proceed by the fire chief. Motion on that? Moved by Myers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Bosenberg. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Dropbox proposal, page 30 of your packet. I'll recognize Vicky and all the research that she's done. All the stuff you found. We've got options.
So I got just Googling options, and those are the three main ones that I saw. And you're gonna notice that two of them look identical, which based on the specs and everything, they kind of are. It's just two different companies and two different prices. I think the first one, I believe, is a little bit really more than what we need. I know it comes with a basket, but honestly, we can get baskets anywhere and use them in the other design.
They slide in, yeah.
As far as location goes, Mac and I had talked about moving the, drop box for the library and turning it so that it faces out, and then placing the drop box next to it so they won't be up against the building. We thought about surface mount because I know Grant had mentioned that before, but I really don't want to put new holes in our new siding.
Then this one disappears across the street,
What's that?
then the one across the street disappears.
I'll take some flack for moving it, but I'm okay with that.
How often does it actually get used? We get a lot of paper payments.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say I think it's approximately 50-50 on ACH versus people that still drop off payments. I mean, we saw a few that bring them straight to City Hall, so.
I would say not very many come in through the mail. We get a handful that their bank mails it directly, but for the
Yeah.
most part, it's Dropbox.
So this box is basically a box with a lock on it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't need anything a lot fancier than that. Okay.
no, I think the first one on there has a little bit more like security features, but I haven't even noticed anything with people trying to get into that one. Like, there's no damage on it. Nobody's trying to pry it open.
Well, especially if we move it over here, we've got our own access to our own cameras.
And I like the second design because it's all one piece welded 1/4-inch steel, and it's pretty heavy duty. And it's got kind of an overhang on it, so it
Keeps it-
protects it from rain, plus if it's over here next to the building. I don't think things are gonna get as wet as they do out in the open.
So you're saying you really don't see there's really no difference in the specs between the two black ones there?
Right.
Is the pedestal additional with the cheaper one? Is that part of the difference? Cause that has a price listed next to it.
That pedestal in it too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, $145.
Yeah, so that might make up some of the difference. Cause I think it's included for the one that's more expensive.
And,
It's got free lettering.
a 9-inch opening probably 20 bigger. Again, where do you think you want to plant something like this? Oh, right out here, maybe. All right, okay.
Does it require motion?
Yeah, just a motion on this one.
So the pedestal, whether regardless of the height, is going to be 145? Is that how I'm
That's how I read it, yeah.
reading? Okay.
That's still, so threes,
Unless you never want.
520.
Almost 350.
Yeah, 330, yeah.
I moved that. Go with the Fort Knox mailbox, third option on the page.
That motion by Myers for the Fort Knox mailbox at $375 with the $145 for the pedestal. Do I have a second? Second by Trum. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Street banners. What do we got here?
so that was, I reached out to the clerk in Robbins because when I was driving through there the other day, I really like the ones they have up right now. They're really nice. They're a patriotic one. So I reached out to see who they used because when I was searching for them, I was having a hard time figuring out like places that had them kind of already printed and ready to just stock ones to go. A lot of places do custom stuff, which is fine, but you're gonna pay extra. And I was trying to get something faster. So that's that company. I know Mac had reached out to another company called Main Street Designs. And was working with them on stuff, but I haven't seen any new emails come in as far as any like designs or anything, but, so I just wanted to give you examples of what they have. I mean, they have tons to pick from. And then what the cost would be. I tried to get, some of those you can put like, welcome to Alburnett on them if you want. Or whatever saying you want on it. And I reached out to them to see how much additional customization is. But I didn't hear back yet on that, so. That's, the price there is just for the one side. Which is comparable, I think, to what we're using now, so I guess if you want a little bit bigger. But, and then Mac and I had talked potentially doing all of Main Street and then maybe even Roosevelt, just because it's a main streets, but we wouldn't probably put them on every pole on Roosevelt. Or Main, I mean, we could just do every other.
Would we have to get new brackets?
I'd have to check with Mac on it.
I think that's something we we should do though, because some of them brackets,
Pretty bad.
they're getting
But I
pretty,
think-
getting pre-war. They're not very
We
good.
just seem like they're a little bit better quality.
Mhm.
Would people be willing to sit down, kind of draw up a plan, what you think we need? I think we could get an idea, your vision of what you're gonna hang up, where you're gonna hang up, get an idea on total cost.
I can do that.
I think that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just throwing things out there for now to see
Yeah.
Mhm.
how many new ones we wanna get. What season, do you want? How many times you wanna change them out, that type of thing.
This is the same size we got now.
Those are approximately, yeah.
Yeah, so if we go bigger too, I don't know if we're gonna go bigger, but we talked about it. I know maybe going just a little bigger because they are fairly small.
The length doesn't change a whole lot. On the next size up, it just gets a little wider. I think the next size up was like 24 inches wide, but I think the length was the same. Or maybe even. Yeah, I think the length was the same.
As long as they don't catch too much wind, that's my. Hang a bunch of kites.
In talking with the person down at Robbins, did you get an idea of how often they change theirs? During,
No, she didn't say.
I don't. What are other towns doing?
I know I've seen at least 3 different designs.
Throughout the
I'm
year?
guessing they probably do each
Yes.
season.
Yeah, I think that's what we've had. We had a flag type design. Flowers in the spring, snowflakes in the winter, and then a fall one.
Marion hangs a lot of them too. On that, not the main drag, but the one to the south. The next street over by the library.
Library.
They got all kinds of them up and down there.
So I can get more pricing and. Figure out.
How
quantities.
many and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of think about change 4 times a year and, okay.
I was just seeing if you liked any of those, like, from this particular company, or I can go. Check out a couple others too.
I think stock is fine,
What's that?
just to do stock ones.
Yeah.
I think some of ours say welcome to Alburnett, right? What's that?
I saw the animals, that's the one I got.
So is that what you've got here, is that their total, or is that just a sample of what they have?
Yeah, that's just samples.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got so many more.
Well,
So even if you
you're
guys
gonna have
want,
fun
I
then.
can send you the link and you can. Send
Yeah,
me
share it over.
some-
I'd like to go through 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah, why don't you send it out to everybody?
they've got a ton. Yeah. I
Sweet.
can do that.
All right, we will come back to street banners. Next item, flagpole with US and state flag. So this is page 33, looks like is where that starts. Looks like a couple of options for lighting.
What's the background on this then?
I think is there a new state law that you have to
Mhm.
fly a American and state
Every
flag at every
public
public building?
US and state flag.
So we're getting, okay. Didn't
So
know
is it
that.
gonna go next door, building mount, what
We're
is
gonna put it at the pole next, over here. In our little park-ish
our
area.
pocket park?
We'll be out on the grass someplace.
You need electricity to it, or are you gonna be needing?
It's like both of these are solar.
Solar,
So the one has the solar light on the top availability, the other one does not. But I think you can get those added. Or we may just have to do a solar light on the ground or on the.
Yeah.
pole.
Looks like there's one quoted for pole mounted on the base.
I think I would stay with the one up in the air,
This one,
you know,
national regulation.
because of people.
State.
Is eight playing, you know what I mean? Really.
Don't want people driving through not knowing what state or country they're in.
But then they wanna limit how much you can spend.
You know, is there any type of like veterans organizations that would want to like sponsor it?
Yes, the Legion.
Yeah, the Tugboat Legion, see,
Or the Lions is always looking for something to put their name
There you
on,
go.
aren't they?
Do you have a Boy Scout that needs a project?
Ooh, I don't know if, yeah, I can
I
ask.
don't know if I qualify for sure, but
They,
sometimes that type of stuff does.
they have to fundraise too. How quickly do we have to have this in place? Do we know?
That I don't, I just know it goes into effect July 1, but I don't know what the grace period is on that.
Okay. I can reach out to the Legion. I know they've been doing a lot with the flags in town, in yards and stuff, so,
And even if all they have is some input about,
right.
you know, hey, this seems to work best for people who are wanting to have a, you know, but yeah.
You gotta get the new duty or no Mac, dude.
Who's gonna be the bugler? Really wanna know. All right, I will reach out, or Vicky or I will reach out to the Legion and see if they have
And
any
just so you know that-
recommendations.
The height of the pole was what was recommended to do the 2 flags on 1 pole.
Like the 30 foot.
you two sides on it, pretty hard.
So we're touching the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The house I had in Cedar Rapids, had 2 flags on it. And ice storm yanked that thing
Oh,
right out of the.
yeah.
I'm bringing it up at the Lions meeting,
Okay,
Yeah,
because they're looking for, we gotta spend some money anyway, so.
Yeah.
I'll see, even if they'd go half or something like that,
okay.
do that next Lions meeting,
I wonder if Legion will at least donate the flags and then if they can do the pole.
yeah, or something.
Pole and the
Yeah,
light,
can do
so.
that, yeah.
Okay, I'll let you know what I hear from the Legion.
I'll check and it won't be till next month, but.
Well, we won't come, it'll be before
Yeah,
our meeting at
yeah.
least, so. All right, item K, set public hearing for park shelter design on July 9th. So Michelle and I are pretty excited. We're gonna get a plan put together and something ready for us to discuss at our next council meeting for the park shelter, and then we can go out to bid, which means bid awards in August, and hopefully, hopefully still have something this year, so.
Hopefully they can at least add the board.
Yeah.
I mean, because by the time you get a building order, it might be the spring before they get a building put up, but
But at least show the whole picture that we're looking to do more than what's in this phase 1, so. All I need is a motion to approve to set the public hearing. If we're not ready, so be it. We'll push it at that point, but I'm optimistic that we're gonna get this part going, so. Do I have a motion to approve setting a public hearing for the park shelter design on July 9th, which is our next regular council meeting,
so
At 7 o'clock
at 7 o'clock?
here.
That, yeah.
Let's get the details down. I don't wanna be at the fire station.
Nope, here at 7 o'clock. Moved by Bosenberg. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trum. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Gotcha. Written reports. Page 37, Fire Chief, back to you.
Not a ton, we've kind of talked about a lot of what I wrote in here about, 135, the Hiawatha truck. One of the days we were getting into it and the door handle stopped working. So we had to try to find parts, and the only place we could find the parts was on eBay, so we're working on trying to get them fixed and make sure the parts fit before we do anything else. We already talked about the AFG and 139. We talked about the bunker gear. The State Farm Grant, the National Volunteer Fire Committee for Council, grant, that's the one that we were gonna go for the 4 gas monitor and the gear dryer. we should hear back on August 31st. If we were awarded it or not, so. We've done multiple pool fills so far, it's been great. And the association just wants to remind everyone about the car show on the 20th and, rain date on the 21st.
Sweet. Any questions for Chief?
Silly question.
Yeah.
How does filling pools act as a training exercise?
So,
Just using the gear?
it's driver's training
Okay,
and pump operations training. So,
using it.
yep, I'm just using it, so,
And it's good for the pumps to run too.
yeah, it's actually bad for the pumps to sit there, the seals will dry out, even though they're pressed against the water, they'll dry out and crack, so. Doing this actually helps flow everything.
Were the pools in town or do we have to drive for them always?
I think the farthest we've had to drive so far is Central City Highway and Flemingville Road.
I think we put a radius on it, didn't we?
Yeah,
We'd only
yeah,
go
we
so
put it,
far.
it's
So it's
within
like
the
3
district.
miles or so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not far at all. So, with that, after this building season for the summer, I will wanna look at adjusting the rates just because of fuel costs and everything going up. We still have to cover our
Mhm.
expenditures on that, so it won't be by much, but next year we'll probably increase it.
What is it now?
25 for 1,200 gallons, and that's one trip, that's round trip. And then it's $50 if we pull off a hydrant, because then we're not using the pump or anything. It literally goes into the truck and right back out.
All right, any other questions? Okay, brings us to Public Works. Have Mac's report. He did review it with me before he left, so if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Anything needing to be done with, due to all the rain over the last couple days?
Not to my knowledge, so we got this close to having to bypass this afternoon, but we didn't end up having to do it, so that was good news. One less compliance letter from the DNR. I've not heard on lagoons or anything like that, so I think everything's, we had just finished drawdown, I believe that's in his report, so should be plenty of capacity, but
You couldn't check them today.
no, there's no getting out there today, so. Nope, I think everything's working as it should. All right, we're gonna move on. City clerk, Vicky, anything to add? I will say I attended the webinar for property tax reform that Vicky shared with us, and I don't know if I feel any better about it than before that. It's a lot, and it sounds like there's still a lot of figuring it out, so. Thank you for sharing that. Please continue to pass them along. I kid, but it really was informative. We noted a couple of special levies that we don't know if we're using, so we're gonna look into those and see if there's an opportunity to get some more money that right now we're relying solely on the general fund and could be using a levy that's not restricted by the recent passage. So I think the one was the law enforcement. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I don't know if that applies since we contract out, but that's not one we're leveraging today. So we learned a few things. Any questions for Vicky? Budget looks good. We just amended, and then obviously
That should be, look better now. There's the fire department.
it's all good. And then clean slate on July 1. So can't believe it's a new fiscal year already.
I will be out next Monday through Thursday for the Institute, so. I just sent an email to Lee to cover Monday and Wednesday. So if anybody needs anything, I'll be available, limited access to emails and stuff, but.
Alrighty. Brings us to consent agenda, starting on page 46. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Moved by Myers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by West. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Brings us to mayor's report. Not much this month, so comprehensive plan update. Good news is we got through the first draft. I can't remember if I had an action item to review the second draft, but regardless, it's going out to steering committee in the coming days. So we'll get their feedback. It is comprehensive. I'm pretty excited about what it unlocks for us. There's a lot more information in there, actionable information that we're actually gonna be able to use. And then we are hosting a pop-up event for the community during the car show. So we're gonna be out in the bays of City Hall. Michelle and I are gonna hold that down. So if you want to swing in and say hi or, kind of hear what the conversation is, we're gonna gather additional feedback that way. And then I believe we leave it posted on the website with Vicky's contact information, again, to collect any other feedback from people who go through it. And we are planning on getting it in front of planning and zoning in late July is the hope. And then on the August council meeting for approval and execution. So it's been a really smooth process. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And like I said, I'm excited. It's much more detailed than what we have today. So we'll make sure when it goes to steering committee that, do we want council to have it at that point or not before P and Z?
Once I can, like we could wrap it up tomorrow and send it out. So if you want me to just include council, I can.
Sure, yeah. Let's give them a first glance at it. So that is the comprehensive plan. Longworth drainage update. I do apologize that this keeps getting kicked. We had some pressing matters for this particular month. I will follow up with our attorney. I have emailed him twice asking for a meeting because I just want to make sure I'm square on the details. It is a very technical situation based on the initial response that I got from him. And so before I give council any guidance on next steps, I want to make sure I am super square on what all of his terminology and guidance meant. And so I have requested a virtual meeting and he's not gotten back to me on that. So I will follow up once more. I should have more time now that we've settled our nuisance update, which is my next thing on my report. So we had a hearing on Monday. This was the first hearing with our new attorney, and I would say they are efficient and definitely had the best interest of the city in mind, end to end. And so the result of that hearing is the property was still out of compliance. It was a contempt hearing. We were able to settle before we even got into the courtroom. The settlement is that the property owner has 45 days to clean up if it is not clean. And by that, we had pictures where we circled the expectation of what is to be removed from the property. There has been some progress made, and so we recognize that. If that's not removed in 45 days, the city has court authorization to abate. So there was always question about whether we could, since the property is not necessarily owned by said property owner, but that settlement, he agreed to that if anything remains after the 45 days, the city can remove it and assess the costs. So that is where that has landed. We didn't entirely address the encroachment. We kind of put that on the back burner because I do know the property owner is hopeful that if he comes into compliance, that we would reinstate his ability to use the city's right of way. So we made it clear that that has been revoked at this time, but we did not further pursue contempt in the encroachment matter, just in the junk and junk vehicles. And so we will. And both attorneys are well aware of that, so we'll address that at the end of this 45 days. So. And I will bring any action back to council as it may be necessary in that regard. That's all I got this month. Council comments. I'm gonna start with Councilor Myers.
I have noticed some improvements on that. So, on the pickleball court, is there a fence?
Mhm.
Okay,
Around it and between them.
and are we going to keep the water features that I saw at the park?
Those are all natural, and
Okay.
so we would rely on Mother Nature to continue to provide the puddles.
Other than that, that's all I've got.
All right.
You don't like your splash pad?
It's more of a wading pool, really.
Portable splash pad.
We are, we will await word from Lions Club. I believe they are still discussing. So in which case council will be asked to accept the donation. So it'll come to you when it's ready. So.
Flagpole would be nice. Talk to him, Dave.
Yeah.
Nothing addition.
You got it all out of your system?
Nothing else to break.
Right?
Counselor Rosenberg?
I just wanna know, what are we gonna do with these two benches out here?
They're intended for the park.
Oh, they're gonna go out to the park.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good.
Yeah, the bid did not include any like furnishings, and so
Okay,
the intention is they'll go out to the park.
Put cement pad down, some, put them on.
Yep.
Good. No, that's all.
There's quite an upcharge on those things when you put them as part of the bid, like picnic tables versus what we can just purchase that for ourselves.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
So
good,
we pulled all that out.
good, okay. That was good.
Counselor Trump?
Want to thank TJ for all his work in making this stuff clear, 'cause it's, this list
Yeah.
is, it's nice to understand it and see that we're making a very good effort at keeping things up and running. And, it's nice to see the dirt getting moved out there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
102 days and we're gonna be there. Well, that's the
I
plan.
think we need
What's that
to,
date?
Oh, I haven't counted it out. We'll have to do that. Business,
It's working days.
working days, yeah.
Whether, if it's like this week, that's gonna be next summer.
Oh, you mean, it's not us taking like Labor Day off and things like that. It's actually physical working.
The weather has to cooperate.
Oh, okay.
They were out there on,
Tentatively, they said end of August.
Yeah, you typically count 4 working days a week. A single
But-
project.
they were out there Tuesday and pouring down rain. I'm just
It's
saying.
conceivable we could get some grass
They were
started
out
this
there
fall.
until it started coming in.
Yeah, the plan is we'll be able to see. Yep. All right, I do have two things I would like to add to my mayor's report, just as awareness. Well, they're not really two, they're the same. Next month, so in addition to the nuisance update that I gave, I am working on a nuisance policy or more of a procedure for staff so that we have a consistent process for documenting and reporting nuisance. So that's coming, and then we're also working on a social media policy just to ensure that we are consistent in how we administer any city social media accounts. We are excluding the fire department from that just because you all have your own procedures. So
Yeah.
that's currently out to the attorney for review just because it, plays around with the whole First Amendment thing. So we want to make sure that we're good to go there. But so a couple of things that'll be coming your way next month. So that's all I got. Brings us to date and time of next meeting, July 9th at 7 PM here at City Hall. And I seek a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Moved by West. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Myers. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 8:23 PM.